I saw this advertised on eBay and I thought it might be an interesting repair video. It's a RGB laser light. It takes an SD card or DMX and it does things like draw animations and patterns and logos and things on the wall. So I thought it could be quite interesting. From the item description, the guy said it was working fine until he put the SD card in, and now it just gets a brief flash of the lasers, and that's it. Doesn't do anything else. I'll bring the listing up. I think I paid about £15 for this. Yeah, you can see on the listing there. That's the SD card and USB adapter that came with it. It came with the remote control and the power lead. So let's see. Well, actually, we'll try it first. We'll plug it in and we'll see exactly what it's doing. I think that'll probably be the best thing. Right, I'll open. Make sure this window thing is open. I'll just point it down here and we'll switch it on. And we saw a brief flash there, and that was about it. I'll just switch it off again and we'll just try that once more. And that's about all it does. I'll try the remote, see if anything happens there. We'll just double check that the remote's actually working. It's a bit hard to see, I don't know. I don't know if that's working or not. I'll just turn this light off a sec. Oh yeah, it is working there. Yeah, you can just see the LED flickering a little bit there. Right, I'll put the light back on. And we'll unplug it and see how it comes apart. Well, I think I'll start at this end. I'll remove these 4 screws at the back. You can see a small circuit board there. It looks like this bit slides back. Right, so what do we have by the look of it? It looks like there's a small switch mode power supply down here. I'd say that board there is for the galvos, which are these things here that the mirrors run on. Galvanometers, I think they're called. And what happens is those move very fast, but they're only for like slight movement, and they're very precise, so you can use them for directing. Obviously, one directs the beam in the the Y direction here, and that one will deflect it in the X direction. There's the 3 lasers. It looks like it shines through it's like a semi sort of transparent mirror. It shines through there, bounces off that mirror and then hits the galvos. So whether or not that's the red and that's the green and that's the blue. So all 3 of them converge to one point on this mirror, hit the galvos, and then the galvos either move left to right or up and down and draw the image. It looks like all the lasers go to this PCB here, and actually there's the 3 colours. We've got a red wire here, a green wire there, and a blue wire there. So that's red, green and blue to control the different lasers, and that's where they come to this circuit board here. So this must be the microcontroller that controls everything. Right, we shall plug it in again and see what's happening. I'll just try switching off again. I noticed the galvo was moving there. I'll tell you what, if we move those to one side, I'll just make sure. I'll take this bit off. I'll just get it out of there. Actually, I'll be alright there now. When I turn this on, it looks like the galvos spring to a certain position. We'll get the lasers light up briefly, and that's about it. It's got some more voltages marked on here, -15, ground and +15. So I think we'll check those first. And I'll stick the meter on here. And we've got -12. And about +13 there. I would think that's probably okay. Looks like we've got a couple of little voltage regulators down here on the main board, or the controller board. So we'll just see what we're getting on those. That looks like the input, and that should be the output. Okay, so we've got 5 volts there. And we'll try this one. 5 volts. Ah, there we go. 3.28. So that must be like a 3.3 voltage regulator. So why is it not doing anything? Might have to bring the scope in on this one, and we'll see if we can get any signals on this chip. It looks like there's a flash memory or something just here, or some kind of serial flash possibly. We've got an 8 MHz crystal here. Looks like we've got an extra port for something here. And there are some buttons on the back as well. Well, those don't seem to be doing anything either. Right. Let's try the microSD card in. Right, I've got nothing on there either. Right, what's this chip? It is a GD32F103. And it says it's an ARM Giga device. And I'm sure I've come across one of those in something else recently. I'm trying to think what it was now. I'm sure it was something I looked at recently, and it had a Giga device in as well. I'm not sure what it was. Well, it's not getting warm. It's almost like that chip's dead. I'll see if I can pull up a data sheet for that chip, and I'll be back momentarily. Right, so I've got the scope set up there now, and according to the data sheet, pins 6 and 7 are to do with the clock. Now I've just had a quick look through the microscope there, and that seems to go to this capacitor here. Sorry, this capacitor here. I'll just see if we can actually switch it on. And we've got a clock pulse there, it looks very nice. And it's 8.00012 megahertz. So I would say that's okay. We've got a reset line which goes to this capacitor here. It's just easier to poke it on the capacitor than the leg of the chip. So if we switch it off, it should start off low and then go high for the reset. And that does, so the CPU isn't being kept in reset. And I didn't think it was, because it seems like the lasers switch off, so I think it's actually doing something. But then it seems to be crashing or something, I don't know. We can see if we've got any signals on any of these. This flash memory chip here, see, I'm not sure what that's for, but I'll just try switching that on and off. Nothing on that one. Nothing on that one. And that one's just got a constant voltage on it. I'll try the ones at the other side. Nothing on that. And that one's just got a voltage on it, but there's no data or anything. No data or clock signals. I'll try this one. Nothing on that one. And nothing on that one. I wonder if the SD card's got something like a bent pin in it that's, I don't know, stopping it from booting or something perhaps, or I don't know, sort of. Well, I can't see anything in the SD card slot that looks bent or anything like that. Tell you what, I'm going to put this SD card in the computer just to see what's on it basically, and I'll be back in a mo. So I've had the SD card in the computer and it was blank. There wasn't actually anything on it, so I thought, well, that's a bit weird. So I wonder if it's been formatted or something, if the last user had formatted it or something like that. So I tried some recovery software on it, I think it was Recover, program called Recover I used, and I recovered a load of files. Most of them just seem to be like show files for moving the laser, you know, drawing different patterns basically. The only other files on there was a tutorial video on how to use some software to create your own images, and a PDF instruction manual, and that was pretty much it. So it was a bit strange how it was blank. So I don't think that's got anything to do with it, but let's try it in now and see if there's any difference. Now it's actually got some files on. No, still the same. I'm trying to think what to do with this now then. Well, the power supply seems to be working okay. This board seems to be working okay because it's moving the galvanometers to the right position. One thing we didn't try was check the power to the laser. But then again, we'll have the mirrors moving. I was going to say if it could be the laser driver board possibly, but I mean, we haven't checked the voltage on that. So let's do that just to... So those three go to the different lasers, so I guess this one here is the power in. Yeah, we've got 13 volts there, so, and the lasers light up when the first, I just wonder what happens. Well, if I unplug one of them, it makes the laser light up, so that's the blue laser, and it's got the blue wire on, so yeah, let's try that one. That's the green laser, and this one must be the red one, and it is. Right, so all the lasers are working. So the laser driver board must be working. The power supply appears to be working. The deflection board for the galvos seems to be working. So the only thing that doesn't seem to be working is this module here, which is like the main controller board. We've got power going to it. The voltage regulators are working. I wonder if something's been corrupted, possibly when the SD card's been inserted. I'll go and have a look on the internet. I'll see if there's like a firmware update or something, maybe. See if there's anything like that we can do with it. Because that's the only thing I can think. I wonder if the sort of like the software's been corrupted on here or something. Because I mean, we're getting a clock signal. The reset's okay. Voltages seem alright. So either the chip's gone, failed, or there's some kind of firmware problem, I think. Right, I'll be back momentarily once I have a look on the internet and see if I can find any info or firmware on this board. Well, I've had a look on the internet and I can't find pretty much any information on this laser. I can't even find the software to create your own shows. There was one for a different laser, which I'm not sure whether that would work, but seeing as the laser doesn't work, it's a bit pointless going down that route at the moment. However, I did come across a Github page from a guy called Maximus 64. Now this is Maximus 64's GitHub page, and that's the laser that he's been working on. And if we scroll down to where the board is, it looks very similar to the board that is in this one. It's the same chip. The only difference I have noticed is the layout's a little bit different. It's got the same buttons, there's two buttons there, it's got the same voltage regulators. The SD card slot's in the same place, the microphone's in the same place, these chips are in the same place. The only thing that's slightly different is this one doesn't have the flash chip like the one on this laser does. And he even goes into telling you how to connect it to a programmer. So I think I've got a J-Link programmer which might be compatible. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to connect that up to the computer, and then we'll see if we can talk to the chip. If we get any response from it, like I said, the chip might be fried, and if we do get a response from it, we'll see if we can either dump the firmware for a start, and then see if we can flash some replacement firmware and see what happens, basically. Right, so I've got the J-Link programmer connected up. J-Link. Type connect to establish a target connection. And we need to pick a device. So I guess we need an ST. It was a 103, wasn't it? I think it was that one. And I want to connect with SWD, serial wire debug. And we'll leave that. Cannot connect to target. We need to switch it on. That would help. Right, we'll try that again then. Alright, okay. Well, it seems to have connected now. Right, I wrote some commands down here to save the ROM. So I'll just copy those. And we'll paste it. Well, it's read the ROM. And we'll dump the RAM contents as well, just to see what's going on in there. Right, so now we should have two files. And there we go. And I've already got the two files that from Max's GitHub. So, right, let's have a look and see what we've got here. It just looks like all FFs that. Just double check we've got these addresses right. I'll try it from 0 instead. Right, we'll just see what's going on there now. Alright, that's got some stuff in now. Height, width, bits. That looks a bit odd. It looks like an image or something in here. Something in Adobe format. Yeah, there's some more of it down here. And some more again. Well, that looks a bit odd. Yeah, same again. It's a bit like the flash is full of images or something here. I see, I don't think it's supposed to be like that. Yeah, there it is again. It's like the same thing repeated over and over and over again. I wonder if, like I said, when he's put that SD card and it's copied it to flash for some reason and overwritten itself. Right, how do we write flash to this? Because we've got it backed up, we could always try the one that Max had on his site. Let's have a look. Load bin, right, okay. So load bin, now C / firmware. What was Max's one called? Max dump, I think we called it. Well, it seems to be doing something. Now, Max said you had to do 2 files. You had to do this one and you had to do another file as well. So we'll do this one and then we'll do the other file as well and see what happens. What was the other file? Load bin. This was it. Copy that. And we need to put this at 1 FF. Not. That says OK. And R should be to reset. Well, we've got lasers on, but they don't seem to be doing anything. No? Looks like it's doing something. Well, the servos are moving now, but it doesn't look like the lasers are coming on. No, it's doing something different when I press buttons now. Nope. It seems to have stopped. Right, so let's unplug this debugger a sec. Right, let's see what's going on now then. Well, it definitely seems to be doing something now, because when I'm pressing the menu... Oh. I think maybe that may be in the power lead. Yeah, when I press the menu button, it seems to be changing the amount the mirrors are vibrating. That seemed to be doing something when I pressed down there. I don't know if that's the microphone picking up something there. Yeah, that seems to be changing. Yeah, I can see that mirror changing to this kind of beat of the music. Well, it definitely seems to be doing something. Does the remote do anything? Oh. Well, that's made it stop. Oh, and start again. Well, it definitely seems to be doing something. It's just the lasers aren't lighting up now. And I'm just wondering if that's because of the differences in the PCBs. I think I'm going to have a look over at Max's board and compare it to this wiring on this chip, because the ones on his laser, on his board, were over this side, and they're over this side on this one. So, right, I'm going to go and have a look at that, and I'll be back in a moment. I'm going to bring the microscope in. I think I've found what the problem is. I'm going to stick a light here so it's a bit easier to see as well. Where were right, so that's the main processor, and the lasers, let's find something to point with here. The lasers on this version are connected to those 3 pins there, so the power comes out of the chip, or the signal comes out of the chip through that resistor and then to this connector, and that one's for the red laser. And the next one comes along here through this resistor, and that's the green laser. So red, green, and then blue comes out of this pin through the resistor and goes to this pin here, and that's for the blue laser. Now on the version of the firmware, on the board that uses the other firmware that we've flashed to this one, it's actually those 3 pins that are the red, green and blue. But on this version of the board, they seem to go to this flash chip. Now the only thing I can think, instead of having the SD card, perhaps they've added this this chip here for to store extra programs or something, or extra patterns. So it's kind of like a built-in SD card. And I think that's the only difference. So I don't think removing this is going to have any effect. Apart from obviously, you know, it won't have any inbuilt programs. You'll just have to use the SD card. But that's the way that the other board was in any case. Now I think the difference is this is version 6.11 and Max's version was 6.02, I think it was. So I'm going to use some low melt solder on these connections here, and we'll see if we can remove this flash chip first of all. Might be better putting a bit of flux on here, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'll just put a bit of flux on this. And then we'll try this side. I would use hot air, but because we've got plastic connectors, I mean I still might have to use hot air yet, I don't know. I just thought we'd try with this first and see if this would work. Oh, seen it moving there. And it's off. Right, I'll just get that out of the way. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much just like an inbuilt or a built-in SD card. This little chip here. It might be interesting to connect this up to a programmer or something and see if we can actually dump the contents of that. I might do that at a later date. I need to clean this up a bit, and we need to see where these tracks go. You can see where 2 of them go. Right, so it's that one that we don't know where it goes, but I think it's going to go to that pin there. That's what I think. We'll just get the meter and put it on continuity, and we'll just double check. Right, so on that pin, yeah, so that pin goes from there to there. So that's for 3 pins then. So now what I need to do is solder some of this very thin wire, and we actually need to cut these here, and just solder from those resistors. I'll just solder onto those resistors here, on there, there and there. We'll just solder from them onto that pad, and that pad. Right, so I'm just going to use a Stanley knife blade, and we'll just cut through. Right, I think that should do for that. Now we need to tin some of this fine wire. Right, so that should do for one wire. Right, that'll do for the second wire. And try a bit of flux on here, see if it makes it a bit easier. Right, so that's with 3 wires there now. And I think I'll put a blob of glue just to hold them on this chip here. Right, so the glue gun should be hot now. Just put a blob on there like that. And we'll just wait for that to dry. So we've got the wires glued in place now. Now we need to couple them up to this side. So this should be the red wire. I'll just try and turn it that way. And this one should be the blue. And we need a one for the green, which let's put that. Right, I'll try that now. Right, so that's with 3 wires on there. Now going over to that side of the chip, Right, we'll get this out of the way. And the light out of the way. And we'll try putting this board back in. Right then, we shall give it some power and we'll see if it does anything different now then. Oh, it just did something there and then went off. I'm just trying to tighten this stand about the way so it's not falling around. I don't know if that's coming out on the camera, but it seems to be doing something there now. No SD card. Oh, it's painting a nice rainbow colour there. No SD card, right, let's try the SD card and see if it does anything. No, that says something mode. ILD mode. Program mode. So now what? Right, 2 seconds, let's see if I can find some instructions. Right, I've got it into SD card mode now, and it looks like it's drawn a picture of a world or something there, or... Oh, I see a picture of an elephant or something there now. Oh, there's somebody doing something there. And some small child dancing about or something. So yeah, it seems to be reading the images off the SD card now. So yeah, I think that seems to be pretty much it. Somebody scuba diving or something. I might set the tripod up and we'll just have a look at it on a wall or something and see what that's like. And then I think we'll wrap up. So it seems to be have somebody dancing around there now. We haven't got as much flicker when you look at it in real life. It's just the obviously the camera's refresh rate. Oh, we've got a gun rotating around there now. And a hip hop sign and some weird shape thing, and now we've got a car rotating. So yeah, it seems to be working okay. It seems to be displaying something. It's doing a hell of a lot more than what it did when I first got it. So yeah, I think we'll class this one as a fix. Right then, if you enjoyed this video, please give it the thumbs up. If you want to see more like it, please subscribe. Any comments or questions, please leave it in the comment section below. And as always, have a great day. Thanks for watching.